It's very nice to be talking to you, Liva, today. Could you please introduce yourself and what do you do for business?
My name is Levica. I'm originally from Latvia, but now I'm based in UK, and I'm a rapid transformational therapist and also massage therapist. But now, when it comes to massage, I'm more concentrating on emotional detox massage. So I work like spirit and body,
Oh, yeah.
mind and body connection. Yeah, mind and body all together.
So let me ask you this question. Is coaching and therapy and this kind of business more popular in England than in Latvia?
I think yes, because I think well, England is also a more wealthy country. Plus, there's more people, and also I think there's more people who, there's bigger possibilities. So there's a lot of people who have higher education. This kind of things are I see in my therapy sessions, mostly for the people who are more educated. And okay, I have also people who are not so high educated, but most of the time people who will put money in this kind of thing will be people who will see value in it, and people who see value in it are most of the time people who have a quite high and quite intelligent and quite like good educated, because they want to develop them in terms not only like, I want to earn a lot of money, but I also want to be successful in other parts of life. It's, love life, relationships, parenting, general friendships, connections. Also, in terms of running business, you need, especially now, you have to be very flexible. So you have to be able to sort of dance in all kind of platforms and under all kind of music. So that's why it's very important for these kind of people to have and develop all kind of skills.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
very. Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
it's, yeah, and I see also a lot of business people, it's very important. And also when it comes to massage that I do, I see for a lot of business people, it's also a lot about getting relaxed, because when you are all the time in sort of like we say in this rat race, when you're all the time stressed and running after everything, eventually you sort of lose the passion of life generally, and also your work start to sort of get very blank, generally for you and also for your clients and customers. So the people, they come, a lot of people come from to me to sort of to find again like taste of life and like feeling of the life also, because a lot of people get very robustic, especially now, but that we have so many works, especially if you work under big corporations, you most of the time you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, but eventually you get very robustic. And that's why a lot of people come and they want to relax, they want to sort of feel the life again from the other perspective, not just from the work or family, and also social life. They want more meaningful connections in the social life. It's not only about going out with the people, having drinks and dinner. They want to be actually like, have real friendships, real connections. And I think this pandemic has showed that that's what people are lacking more. Like, we have enough toilet paper and pasta and everything, but most of the things we are really lacking, even with the technology possibilities. You can literally call whoever you want all around the globe. You can, like we, like have a like face-to-face conversations on the screen, but still people are lacking this, time of connection, being together, being, face-to-face to someone, sitting next to someone, looking at someone, actually speaking with someone next to them instead of just the screen. So this is getting, I think, thanks to also what's happening in the world, this is getting more crucial thing for the society generally. So that's something which I do like on day-to-day basis, because and for in my job, the main thing is to connect the person with themselves, because if you are not connected with yourself, it's very hard to connect with other people. And I see that quite a lot.
Mhm. Yeah, and how do you help with this person to connect with themselves?
Well, as I said, I'm rapid transformational therapy, which is like, it's a connection with hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, its combination, CBT and NLP, which all is it's like a big combination of all these therapies. And the main thing which we really do is just we go in people's subconscious mind with the hypnotic surrender, helping them to relax and just find where the problem occurred. Because most of the time we have so many beliefs and so many problems in our life which are coming from the age when we were very young. Because if you see like kids, they are like a bit like little robots. They walk around and they copy everything what people say. Like sometimes I was working as a nanny, and sometimes you send kids to the school, they come back and they have like catch something what the teacher said, so they are repeating like for weeks that, or they sometimes they watch a cartoon and then they're repeating the same thing. So that's why we learn so many things in childhood, not consciously understanding that they are actually creating our beliefs and our habits later on in our lives. And sometimes, I had clients who have been laughing in their sessions because they're like, I did it like when I was 2 years old and it has impacted my life till now. And I'm like 44 now, and it's really stupid little thing, but it has so much impacted their life that, it's like, and they couldn't move on in their business, they couldn't charge the money they wanted because when they were 2 years old they did something that created the belief that they don't deserve it.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it's just and when you see these things, like, and I had also a lot of clients who had a very massive abuse. They had alcohol abuse, they had drug addictions, they had also very harsh relationships with their parents. And I put them in the session, I work with them for 2 hours, and you can't believe it. I just love this moment when they open their eyes. They're like completely different people. There's lightness in their eyes, they feel more relaxed, they feel more light and everything. And it's just like, it's for me also as a therapist, it's sort of
a moment of revelation.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, one thing, I'm earning money with it, but it's just so pleasant to see these things happening. And I also, once they leave me, they're going to the life, but their life is also changing.
Yeah, sure. So let's go to your techniques and tools. What is RTT?
So as I said, it's a combination of the different therapies created by Marisa Peer. It's her own method, and she kindly teaches all of us. And I was very lucky to be taught by her personally. And so it's a combination of hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, CBT therapy, and NLP. And so it's literally, we use hypnotic surrender to find the problem in subconscious mind, because our belief is that the main problems about our beliefs are implanted in subconscious mind. And in terms to find that, we have to silent the conscious mind, which is mind which works every day, like the mind with what we think, what we want to eat, what we want to do today, how we want to dress, and this and that, like day-to-day life. But the subconscious mind goes deeper. It goes in our belief system, what we really believe in life, what's our values in life, what's our traditions, cultural things. So it's, and to access what's there, most of the time we need to put people in hypnotic surrender to go in dive deep in the subconscious mind.
And how do you determine the beliefs that don't help your customers?
Well, the main thing is, the clients come to me with their issues. It could be, I try to work with people who have anxiety, stress, and confidence issues, but it can be anything. It can be also illnesses, it can be pains, all kind of relationship, whatever. And most of the time people come to it with me, and then of course there is an intake form which also gives me an insight. So what's the problem? What's their problems they are dealing. Sometimes they come with one issue, and when I see the intake form, I actually see a different thing underneath. Like very often when people come with weight problems, there's a big there's a big issue with confidence and self-love, because that's why we don't really love ourselves. So that's why we try to keep ourselves big and out of the society, because we think, if I'm big, society doesn't love me, and also then I'm not lovable. So that's like self-confidence issues. It's all about really. And also I think, they say, like for me, I feel it's also about feeling the client, because sometimes you chat with the client and so many things come out. I had the amazing session with one lady once, and she came for the very low energy. She said, I just don't have energy. And she was working very high profile job and everything. And she made an intake form, and in intake forms, one of the things she crossed was she had sexual issues. And I just suddenly somehow clicked in my mind, that's a thing that's really triggering her. Actually, during the session, we worked with the low energy levels, and that was actually one of the things which actually is triggering the low energy. The sexual issues are triggering her low energy levels. So it's clients most of the time, because I actually don't know what's happening in their life. They know what's happening in their life, and I just have the tools how to help them, and that's it.
Yeah, very interesting. How do you implement RTT?
Um, so as I said, it's a consultation form, and then I see where I go from there. But most of the time, it's all about the session. I follow the client. There's a lot of tools to use. There is upgrading the child, where you go back to childhood and see how it was for you. There's just going back to the memories, also a thing. Then there's a way that you can actually. We also there's this role play where you can speak with person who hurted you or who abused you, or you can speak both ways, asking and answering questions, or just speak to them, like telling how you felt and how you feel and your emotions and your pain, which is very, for a lot of people, it's very healing already, that you actually can tell to someone who abused you, who used you, that how you felt actually. Because maybe as a child, you didn't have the power to say that. Maybe you were so small that you didn't even knew the words to say that. And as an adult, you have this kind of possibility, and it also gives the people like a power back, so they can take it back. And also the main tool is really that we also do so it's a hypnosis. It's going back to memories. Then we do the part when we acknowledge that it's not anymore me. It happened when I was small, when I wasn't able to speak, where I didn't have my own thoughts, where I didn't create my own beliefs. And then, we acknowledge that. We also say goodbye to that part. We have sometimes very swearing sessions where people just send them, to fuck off but that's good, because that's what they need to gain their power back. And then there's transformation, which is just everything what client wants to be in the old beliefs. Instead of old beliefs, we implant the new beliefs. So that's the transformation. And then also all the clients are sent home with the recording, but you have to listen for 21 days, because your mind remembers by repetition. So you have to sort of all the time repeat your mind, what do you want? And it's a bit tricky, because I get also clients who say, I can't listen to the recording because it's like, it makes me feel sick. I feel like, my head goes spinning and everything. I said, yes, because your old beliefs are so deep seated that they don't want to let go. And actually feeling sick is just a sign that your body and your mind is sort of clearing out, actually even physically. And also, when you, like everything that you don't express, you suppress. So everything that you suppress, eventually, if you do therapy, eventually starts to climb out from you. Also physically, like, a lot of people get sick. I had colleague who said I had a client who was vomiting because they've just were, you know, the emotions were so suppressed in the body that, you know, eventually she just like let them go and let them out, that they just went out actually in the physical form.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And how do you use RTT to fight illness and manage pain?
Well, you know, our bodies are very powerful machines. If you see, you know, we create, if you think, I also studied as a midwife, and I always had been amazed, you know, how we can create, like, you know, you have like a little spermatozoid and you have the egg, and you can create a, you know, new being, which has a brain, which has a body, which has so many complicated systems, you know, and also in the same time we are being created so unique. There's no one else like you or me in the planet. It's just us, you know, it's just me and you, and it's just one person in all planet like you, and will never ever be again, you know. So it's, I think, and the same is with our minds. Our minds are so powerful, you know. You can manifest whatever you want, and but you have to give your mind the right program. So it's all about programming your mind. It's all about telling yourself where you want to go from here. And also, when you think about all the diseases, all the illnesses, most of the time, I would say 99%, we create them ourselves. Even if I know people say, you know, there is a cancer which is like genetic. Yeah, it's genetic because your mother had a problem which is probably deep seated, and also you have it because you probably have just, you know, absorbed it during your life. So also you have the possibility to develop the same cancer as your mother had if you will not break the cycle. And that's, you know, that's why you see so many like genetic, you know, disorders in the families, because there is the same problem. And, you know, the generation by the generation just keep on, like, you know, going around the circles with the same problems. And it's, you know, it affects everything. It's you know, family life is shit, business life is shit, the relationships is shit, the health is shit. And, you know, if you are the one in the family who wants to break the cycle, then you have to take it and do it. And more, from my own experience, it can be also that you have to sort of cut out the family, because they will be, you know, because if you are the person who wants to move forward and they are not ready to move forward, they will be definitely there to pull you down, because that's the main system how the people work. The people who are not self-confident and are down, they will try to pull the people who are confident down, because then they will feel better. That's their sort of their almost like a task of the life, you know, because otherwise how will they feel better? Because if there's, and especially in the family, you know, there's actually, if you see, there's so much competition going on just in the families, you know. I know it from my own family, you know, we compete about literally everything, you know. And it's just like, either you break the cycle and accept that your family will never appreciate what you do and be there for you, support you, or you know, you sort of sync with them. So choice is really yours. So it's about disease and illnesses. It's all about, yeah, finding the problem, realizing where the problem lies, so, and removing it. And also then telling your mind, you know, now I want to be healthy, now I want to be feeling good, whatever the problem is. There's very amazing sessions. I have done with this site with a few of my friends, and it has been amazing. Like my friend, when she had like her sight improved after session, the next day she went to see the person who checks the eyes. I can't. Optician, yeah. And the optician said, I don't know what you have done, but since last week your sight has improved like for 30%. And she was like, she couldn't believe herself, you know. And then she, you know, and then the optician was speaking with her. She's very knowledgeable optician. She said, you know, I think your problem occurred when you were still a baby in your mother's tummy. And, you know, and she said, you know what, when we did the session, there was actually a lot of memories were coming when her mother was pregnant with her. So it's all very amazing. So I think the only thing we need to realize that we have the power to heal ourselves. And no doctor will make you healthy. It's your own responsibility. The same like your life. No government, no parents, no job will make you wealthy, happy, successful or anything unless you will do it. It's your responsibility. So yeah, the same is with health. It's your responsibility. If you want to be healthy, happy, then it's your responsibility to figure out why you have the disease and get rid of it.
So let's move to the customer's mind. How much or how big is the role of the customer's willingness to make your therapy succeed?
Well, they have to be willing, because I usually give the scale on my consultation form, and also we have a chat before the session. I give the scale from 1 to 10, how willing you are. 1 is not willing, and 10 I'm super willing. And if it's below 8, then I usually, I have a chat with the customer and I see, are they actually willing to change? It's quite often with addictions, like with the drinking. Sometimes people, they just like flirt around because they have been like, the family sends them and say, you have a problem and go and fix it. Or the spouse sends them and say, you have a problem, go and fix it. And then they, in just, sake of mine, they just, go and come to me and say, my wife sent me, or my husband, or my parents send me, and they think you can fix me, but they're not really willing to change. I can help them a bit, but if the willingness is there not at all, then most of the time I don't bother, because I just I don't see the point to waste my time, their time, my energy, my knowledge, and also their money, just because they actually don't want to change. This change have to, as I said, it's your responsibility. Your life is, and everything what happens in your life is your own responsibility. And if you are not willing to change it, then what can I do? I can speak with you, I can try to inspire you, I can, sometimes I also encourage people and say, okay, if you are not willing, okay, you want to live in this kind of state, so what are you actually missing out if you are staying with like addiction? What things are you missing out? Or you have extra weight, so what things you think you are missing out? Because sometimes people, they realize, actually I'm missing out so many things in my life because of the problem I have, and I haven't actually realized that actually it has been so big problem for me. So yeah.
Yeah, so unless the customer is willing to embrace the therapy, it's a waste of time and resources.
Yeah, most of the time. There is situations where I get teenagers and kids, because then it's teenagers, it's generally none of the teenagers want to say that they have a problem. I have had teenagers, and actually boys, who actually said to their parents that they need help, because they get sort of feeling they can't cope with life, and then the parents contact me, which is amazing, because it just shows that they are actually willing to change and willing to do something, because they don't want to feel this way how they feel, and it's amazing. But but even with the kids, eventually it's sort of I think they see also the point. With adults, as I said, it's a bit trickier. You have to be willing to do it yourself first of all, and then then everything. Once you decide that you can have it, then you will have
Yeah,
it.
sure. What is detox massage?
So emotional detox massage is it's a deep body work, and also combined with a breath work. So literally it's, well, usually it's 2 hours, and it's just like, the main thing is everything that, as I said, everything that we don't express, we suppress. So all the emotions that we don't express, we don't say, we don't act them out, everything lands in our body. That's why so many people, like, especially if you see people who work in very high responsible jobs, they have a lot of tension, like, you know, and even they walk, you know, they walk around, you know, their shoulders, their head is buried in their shoulders, they all, you know, because the tension of the work, the stress, the worries, the responsibility, it's just so, you know, it's so overwhelming that they just, it's all in the body. So my main work with emotional detox massage is to help them to release it. And by doing the deep pressure, I can find the triggers where the emotions are buried. And also with doing the breath work, when they do the breath work, when you and breathe out, you breathe out everything what you were suppressing. I have, you know, clients who cry because, you know, it has been overwhelming. I have clients who are afterwards like this, you know, they are all shaking because the emotions sort of climbing out, and the body is sort of, the energy is like sort of shifting out. There's all kinds of, yeah, I have clients who are just also very relaxed because they, you know, they just maybe needed, you know, just this time to be relaxed. Someone who's looking after them, pamper them, you know, soothe them, stroke them, touch them. That's also a case.
Yeah, what does it mean that a customer surrenders to you?
Well, the surrender is mostly about the trust. The customer actually trusts me to work with them, work with their body, work with, yeah, just work with them. And for some customers, it's harder. It's very depends also how, you know, people come also to me with traumas. That's why I try to combine like the massage therapy with the RTT, because it's very beneficial because some people come with very deep-seated traumas. Sometimes they don't even know that they have them because the mind has buried them so deep to not hurt them, but they are still there and they are still destroying them from inside. But the mind, because mind's main programming is to keep us safe. Like, you know, from when we were created first on this world, the first thing we ever were taught, our mind was taught, was to keep us safe. So everything what was dangerous and unsafe for us, mind was trying to keep us away from the danger. So that's why, you know, it's the same with the mind still now. Our mind, you know, even though we live in sort of very safe environment, very comfortable environment, our mind's main thing is to keep us safe. So there's so many deep-seated traumas, so many things happening in the body. So once you start to relieve these things, it's very important to give the people the space, you know, so they can be themselves. And for a lot of people, it can be very also traumatic because they haven't been allowed to be themselves. They haven't had the courage to be themselves. And, you know, when you encourage that, it's first they are very alarmed, and when they surrender to that, they get, they sort of, once they, then they start to let go, because then they feel, okay, I'm in the safe space, I can just, let it out, whatever I feel, whatever I have in my body, whatever is happening, I just can let it be, because this person next to me is supporting me. And it's very important for me as a therapist to be there for these people, because it's very painful. I know it from my own experience, because I have done so much therapy in myself also. And I also, they always say that you do and study whatever is actually necessary for you first of all, and then comes the rest of the people. And then I always laugh to everyone, I became therapist because I was the one who needed therapy the most. And that was so true, because like I remember my therapy, when we did the live training 2 weeks, it was flying experience for me, from the day one, how the things changed in the week, and then in the next week it was amazing. And also when I see my clients, it's the same thing, because, and also all the knowledge putting together, I can feel also, I think my main gift is also, I can feel so many things energetically just by being next to them and just feeling them. So in the working with the body, you can feel so much, you can read so much from the body, how people react. Also, once they step in the door, how they feel generally with me, how they feel with other people around. And also, already when people inquire the therapy, we have a chat on the phone, so I know, is there any even point to work with me? Because maybe the person's not even for me, or I'm not for them the right person to work with. And then I have to be honest with myself and honest with them, because then I can't really help them. I will just actually harm them more than help them. So then I can suggest, send them to another therapist, or, they can find someone else, and so on and so forth. But yeah, the trust is something like, I think, when it's like an energetic meet, like, when you see the person or meet the person or speak with the person, the energies meet. And if they feel safe with each other, then we can do the healing. If they don't feel, then and I also have worked in care quite a lot. And I have seen also sometimes you meet people who remind you about person who has done wrong for you in life. And if I'm as a therapist remind someone of person who has done wrong for them, they will never come to me, because I will be just a memory. It's like, I will be just triggering their memories. And it's possible to do that, but then the person have to be very sort of brave to do that with me. But generally the surrender is about the trust already from the first step in.
Very
And
nice.
also,
So yeah, go ahead.
no, that's fine.
Yeah, let's go to the next question. Like, how can we, or how can people store memories in our bodies?
Well, as I said, everything that you don't express is suppressed. So everything, if you get in the fight and you suddenly can't say what you feel, or you can't act what you feel, everything goes down in you. Everything, day-to-day life. If your spouse is angry at you and you don't say anything back to them, you just you bury all the stress and worries in your shoulders. A lot of things also start in the guts. When you see with the kids, it's so amazing, because it works like this. They literally respond the same time when the things are happening. When the kids have like tummy ache, and for example, the parents have left the town and you are staying with the kids, and then the first evening the kids walk around and they have tummy ache. It's most of the time they are just missing their parents and nothing else. And the same with us people. Everything that especially people who have problems with the stomach, there's so many swollen emotions, and they are just sitting there down in the stomach, and they can't express them. And also the problems with the weight, there's so many security issues. Weight is most of the time, especially if it's a stomach, it's a security issue. So the people are sort of bulking them up to protect themselves. And also the other issue, if you have been abused as a child, your mind's first thing is that I need to get bigger so then I can protect myself. So many people get just bigger because they have this thought, if I will be big I can protect myself. So that's just a stored emotion. This is lack of safety. I'm not safe, so I store it in my body, and my body just responds on it. It just makes things happen, and it's really, really amazing. And also, when I do RTT sessions, I can see a lot of people, if they have. I had people who get very cramped because of their memories and the way they felt in their memories, because they were like children who didn't had words, who couldn't speak against their parents, or who felt unsafe next to the abuser or someone. So just they get very sort of like stoned. And also you can see that in the session, even though they should be very relaxed and so on, but they get very like squeezed up, and because the emotions are there, they are all in the body. But now because we have found them, and we sort of speaking them out, they're sort of slowly climbing out. It sometimes can be a very long process also after the therapy. That's why there is suggestion that after any therapy you actually do, you should be having, you can't just straight away go back to work in next hour and do the work. You have to take time actually to just rewind, sort of to come back to the place and time. And also I also always suggest my clients, I say, you have done so big healing work. Don't go back all the time, analyzing things, because we are with psychotherapy, with the way it's built, we are so used to analyzing things, just going through the shit over and over again. And I say, listen, it's like when you have a shit in front of you, you go through it, you see what's happening there, what's the things wrong, you realize what's wrong, and then you say okay, and you throw it away. But if you go through the shit over and over and over again, you just eventually, you get bonkers, you just get lost with everything in life. So just, I'm telling you, I said, that's it, you're finished with this topic, forget about it. Whatever comes after, something else is on top of it, that's fine, we work with it the next session. But now just go relax, give yourself time, space and care, and listen to recording, and just recover.
Yeah, that's a great word, recover. It's been a great time talking to you today. Would you like to say something in the end?
Well, people, believe in yourself more, because that's the main thing. It doesn't matter what you do, what you have, what you don't have, what you want to have. The main thing is what you say to yourself. That's the main thing. Love yourself, say to yourself the most amazing words, because you are you are actually the only person who can love yourself for real and unconditionally. And if you master that, then trust me, world is yours. And that's it. So love yourself, believe in yourself, be your cheerleader, be your best friend, be your best lover, be your everything. And
Yeah,
then life will be amazing.
you're amazing. Thank you so much for this
Thank
informative.
you very much. Bye.